Well, we started at 11 o'clock on Bay 40th inside Seagirt. We was told to watch the waves as they hit the wall, as they come close to the rocks, or as they come close to the wall, and inform when the waves is hitting the wall, coming over the wall, etc., etc., etc. So after the water had risen, came over the wall, informed, let us know when it started coming in the street inside Seagirt. Then from there, they told us to go outside Seagirt, set up on the valves, which we did. My partner is Sean Price. That's my mechanic, and we did so. We came, set up on the valves, and while we set up on the valves, it was good. It was no water yet, and we was told to stand by. We stand by. Did we have to do? And our other crew members, our crew leader, James Morant and Eddie Paris, was set up on the valve as well. They was in front of Seagirt. Water was coming to them from Seagirt in from the ocean. So they had water first. We down the block on Mermaid and 36 on the corner. We one block away. So they water got heavy as our water started coming down. So the water got heavy, a lot of debris. We calling on the phone, letting them know there's a lot of debris in the water. A lot of water, a lot of debris. And they just told me to hold the key. Whatever you do, don't lose that key. So I'm standing in the water holding the key, like I'm supposed to do. And a lot of things start hitting my leg, air conditioners, tires, all type of stuff, all type of debris, wood, you name it. It was, you can't see it because the water was high. So I stand on the digget, holding the key. So now I'm out the water. Now the water got high to the digget. So now the things that still hit me, whatever. The foreman Simnelli came. A fellow Eddie mechanic came by, Rob Anderson. So we all standing by. So I'm standing on the key. We was waiting for the phone call to, close, leave, whatever. Whatever the phone call was for us to do, that's what we was gonna do. And then we was told, take the key off and leave. At this time, the water's already up to here, almost to my hip. The water and the breeze already up to my hip already when they told us to leave.
What time was that?
That was maybe around 6, a little after 6. That's when they told us to leave.
And how was the electricity? Was it dark?
No, it was nothing. You couldn't see. Everything popping. You see everything. You see the transformers popping. You see this. You standing there watching all the lights blow out. You hear boom, boom, boom. You hear it. So we jumped in the truck, pulls off. The foreman pulls off. Rob Anderson had us blocked in, so he had to back up. He let us out. We was going straight. Sean Price, mechanic, told me make the left. We have to make a left on a one-way street coming down. So we turn and come in. I have to stay in the middle of the street because the cars are floating. Cars are moving. So we stay in the middle of the street going. Then the truck stopped. And we had to climb through the window because you couldn't open the door because there's too much water. So I had to climb through the window. Me and Sean had to climb through the window to get on top of the truck. We stood on top of the truck, and when we stood on top of the truck, we was maybe 20 feet, 30 feet away from a building, a little apartment building. And as we stand on top of the truck, a young lady, flashed a flashlight and opened up the window. I said, National Grid, you okay? We was like, yo, we need some help. So the lady went and got her brother, her boyfriends, or whoever. It's dark now. It's completely dark. We went, got our family, And she said, y'all make it to the fire escape, y'all can come to my house. So we had to, all right. So they went, unhooked the fire escape, and the fire escape fell down. So we like, yo, what we gonna do? Like, yo, we gotta try to make it to this fire escape. So we have to jump in the water. The water was over, almost over our heads. Over our heads. We have to jump to the water, float or swim to get to the building. And once we got to the fire escape, we put ourselves up to the fire escapes, and they let us in their house. We was in their house. I think we got in there maybe around 7:30, and we stood there in their house till maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. Then Mr. Dirk Oliver came and picked us up on the truck. Then we had to get back in the water to get back on the truck. At this time, the water was maybe around 4 feet. At this time, so it wasn't that bad getting up, because once we make it to the truck, we know we was alright. But while we was in the apartment, they had candles. They gave us food. It was very, very nice, very nice. They treated us well. They welcomed us with open arms. And the conversations was there, had us laughing, kept us going. But there was no communication. Like our phones, we lost our jar phones.
How did Derek know where you were?
I had called Mike Kinnig. I had him in my personal phone. And we didn't have too much power left. So I was like, I gotta call my wife. I had to call my friend James Morant, the crew leader. Because we wasn't sure they made it. We was actually safe because we was in someone's home. But we're not sure, did they get in someone's home?
No, they wasn't tapping their truck.
Right, but we didn't know. We didn't know.
Right.
So I'm
They
trying
were
to
the first ones to get.
I'm trying to call them. No communication. Try to call Rob Anderson. No communication. And we are friends, and we also co-workers as well. So worrying about them, it was more painful than like, these are friends, you can't do nothing for them, because we was in a bind. So that really bothered me a lot. Like, you can't help your friends, So we tried to reach out, it didn't work. So I was like, well, who could we call? So I go through my phone. I was like, oh man, Mike. So he's the president of the union, and he answered the phone. It was maybe like 12 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, he called me and told me where he was.
So I told him where we was. I said, you have to call James Morant, Rob Anderson, and Bobby Carucci. I said, I don't know where they at. I'm not sure you spoke to them, but I know we all was together. I don't know who else is out here. And Mr. Simonelli, the foreman. I said, I don't know who else is out here, but I know we was all together. We made it to a building, we went to someone's home, this is the address where we at. Just try to contact them. He said, all right, just stay by your phone, I'll call you back. So he called me back. Maybe like 15 minutes, answered the phone. He said, okay, I got James Morant, I got Rob Anderson. I got James Morant, I got Bobby Carucci. We don't got Rob Anderson. I said, okay, I'm going to try to keep calling him and see what happens. So me and him paying phone tag for the rest of the night. So he called me back. He said, we got Rob Anderson. We know where everybody at. Just stay where you at. We making phone calls to come get y'all.
I was in the water when Mike called me, and I'm like, this is Mike calling me. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I said, Mike, I'm in the middle of the ocean. He said, yeah, I know. He says, just don't forget Ishmael. Ishmael Johnson is out there. Says, I'm not leaving nobody behind us.
We drove one more block and made a right-hand turn. We got another block away, which was, I think it was 33rd and Bayview. The ocean's on the left-hand side. A wave came over the truck. That big truck stalled it. Now, we sat there at night, 4 hours. I didn't even remember the time. 4 to 5 hours.
3 or 4 hours.
Until they came to pick us up. But our truck was facing the water. So the waves were breaking on the side of the truck. So we had no power. Everything died in the truck. The truck was actually listed to the side, a big truck, and listed to the side about 4 or 5 times because the waves were breaking up against the left-hand side. The guy that I was with had to leave the window open just a crack. God forbid the truck rolled over. We had to break the window to get out and swim. But the truck tilted to the side, and when we went to pick up the truck in the morning, the truck was almost, I would say, turned around 45 degrees from its original position while we were sitting in it when we got out at night. And we didn't realize that because when the plate truck came to pick us up,
Derek Oliver.
when Derek Oliver came with the plate truck with Frankie Gill in it, we couldn't see getting out of the truck. We had to jump over the seats and try to get out of the driver's side of the truck because of the water and because of the way the guy was driving the truck. He had a truck full of 20 people, at least 20 people in the back. There was some servicemen from street department that actually had to jump in the water from the top of the truck, from the sides of the truck, and swim about 5 feet or 3 feet to get to the plate truck to get on.
They couldn't swim.
Because they couldn't swim. There was one guy that couldn't swim, and he was a short guy, and he actually jumped into the water. Serviceman Pepolo actually jumped into the water, and he was afraid. He was afraid to go into the water because he couldn't swim.
Come on, right here. Take a step. Take a step. Time over the fence, man. Let's go.
Go over the fence. Don't go down. Go right over.
Let's go. Get up. Good.
I'm not driving. I'm taking the dry land.
Yeah, but how am I gonna walk? I got no shoes, nothing.
Fucking siding. The siding flew off the fucking house. I came out. It's the best one.
Watch out for the wire. Watch out for the wire.
What's that tape?
Watch the tape. Watch the tape. You're safe. Don't worry. You're good. Just relax.
Guys, look,
Relax.
Go video the whole night. I lost everything, my car, my case.
That's okay. You didn't lose your
My
life.
phone, I know.
You didn't lose your life.
My money, everything. Oh, can you cover me up? I'm cool. I'm sure.
That's okay. You're good.
Can you please put the jacket? Put the jacket on me. Put the problem. Stay tight. Right here.
Derek.
There's Derek.
Hey,
Come here. Just talking about this is the gentleman that saved our lives.
There's the guy that saved everybody.
All I know, I was there. I mean,
Don't put it
You
so
won't get out of bed?
they woke me out of bed. I was
Who'd
on
you get the call
sleep.
from?
From Frankie Gill.
And he was getting water in his own house.
Yeah, I had
He
to
was getting
evacuate
water
my
in
own
his own
kids.
house, so he left his family to come take care
I
of
made sure I took my kids out my house before, anything bad happened. Because my brother called me on the next tell
Where was it?
the
Oh, no,
water
that's-
was running down his house, down his block, and I left. I just got the kids left, came straight here to work, told my kids to take my car and go to their grandmother's house, and that's when they told me what was going on, and me and Frankie Gill went out, and the rest was history. We just did what we did. We didn't even think about our own selves. We
Did
just
you guys know you were going to Seagate?
Yeah, Frankie told me we was going to Seagate, and he said that some guys was trapped on top of their trucks. I didn't even think nothing of it. I was just saying, let's go get these guys. So after it was all over, I said, what was I thinking? But
Where'd you learn
on
to
the-
drive like that? I mean,
my father.
Derek, you
My father.
amazingly. I had no words for it. It was amazing what you did that night.
Yeah, my father taught me how to drive when I was 7 years old. He used to put me on his lap.
Thank you, Mr. Oliver.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, Derek, did you know where everybody was or the addresses?
Yeah, Frankie Gill directed me. He just told me to go, and I just knew where to.
Because there was no traffic light.
No, there was no lights. There was nothing. You couldn't see anything. Frankie Gill had a flashlight doing like this, guiding me through, and I was just maneuvering around cars that were just floating everywhere. And it was something out of a horror scene.
Yeah.
I never experienced nothing like that. I don't never want to experience it again. So.
Any point you want to say, I don't know if I can do this, I'm going back?
I made a mistake.
I don't think you
No,
ever said that at all.
it never crossed my mind to turn back around. When we first came down and the cops and the firemen was standing on the side and they wouldn't go into the water, and when I came with the rig and Frankie Gill says, listen, we got about 14 guys trapped in Seagate and we're going in. And the cops jumped on because they had a couple of their guys that was trapped because the boat kept capsizing on them because the current was so strong. So they asked could they get on, and I told them, come on, hop on. And they hopped on. We scooped up a couple of police. We tied their boat to the side of the truck and we proceeded to get Jimmy Morant and Parrish. They was trapped on top of their truck where the water was like, looked like it was like 8 feet high, you know. And there was a couple of guys in another vehicle next to them that were trapped with a dog. So they said when I pulled up, they seen the truck look like it went underwater and came back up. And they were right there. So I pulled up and they jumped on top of the truck. They had to jump over to save the dog and everybody, and then I just backed the truck all the way back up the bridge. And then me and Frankie Gill proceeded to go get all these guys that was trapped about a mile away. Yeah. And when we turned the corner on, what was it, Neptune and, what's that? Stillwell. When we turned the corner, the next one, Cropsey, when we left them, we dropped those other guys off and we had to back the truck up. I had to rev the truck to get all that water out that was in there at the beginning. And then we went around, and when we came around the corner, it was a big giant wave that hit the truck. And Mike Riley was behind me with the digger, with a machine. And the water lifted the machine up and slammed him into a pole. If that pole wasn't there, he would have went right out into the bay. But he wound up rescuing 3 people. They were in the bucket. And Rob Anderson, he was one of the guys that was there. He rescued 2 kids. Three kids. Yeah.
We rescued people too.
Yeah.
The naked man.
It was. Well, there's a lot of stuff that they did that I don't know about, but this is the stuff that was going on out there. It was nobody on the street. When we got out there, it was pitch black. Some kids that almost got swept. Rob grabbed the kids. He grabbed
3 of them.
grabbed those kids.
Grabbed them and just walked up the block during the current. I had a flashlight.
Rob, this way, that's right.
Rob made it to the fence. He grabbed onto the fence with his hand. Meanwhile, he had 3 kids. He got in. He walked up the stairs. The kids going, thank you. He collapsed literally from exhaustion. Thank you again.
You're my hero, Derek.
I'm going to get a Christmas card for my family. I appreciate it.
They was not moving. They were just standing there. They looked at me like I was crazy. They said, where you going? I said, I got to go in. I said, we got guys in there. I said, what do you want me to tell you? They looked at each other and says, can we jump on? I said, sure, come on. I said, you want to help? Come on. I had no problem with that. But nobody would move. You had fire engines up there. You had the police. They would not go in the water.
But we saw that water coming up, man. That was a hairy thing.
There was a guy on the pole that Frankie Gill grabbed. The guy yelled, help. He seen the truck coming down. And I slid the truck over as close as I could. And Frankie told the guy to jump. The guy jumped and he told us, do not come into the water. He said the current is going to take him because it was getting ready to take him right out to the bay.
Oh, yeah.
And he was holding on. His feet was up in the air like this, and I'm looking. I'm like, holy smoke. I can't believe this. I said, is this really happening? That's how hard the current was.
Yeah.
And Frankie grabbed this guy out of the water with one hand and threw him in the truck. That was, I couldn't believe he did that, but he grabbed him and got him in. The guy was just praising, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I had a bad feeling from the jump. We shouldn't be outside. That's what I thought. But we night trucks. We supposed to knock it out. That's our thing. Knock it out and make safe. But we was told to go man a valve. But we got to the location. The water was already at 2-3 feet. We was trying to find a manhole in that water. After an hour passed trying to find it, go sit in the truck. The water rose to about 4 and 5. Then it started getting inside the truck. Then we had to climb outside the truck and climb on the side of the truck. And that's it. Like, waited 6 hours on top of a truck in the breeze, watching transformers pop. It was dark. We could see what's going on right there in front of us, but not too much. Moonlight was the only thing we had. Flashlights. That's it. Well, the strongest part of the storm was at 6. The truck started getting filled over by like 6:30. And then I got saved at 12:15, so it was about 6 hours. 5.5 hours of waiting for a rescue truck. why we out here? That was it. Why was we in a evacuation area while everybody, even cops and fire trucks, everybody was leaving. We was told to go there. That was on my mind. I saw waves going inside people's houses. I saw cars getting devoured by water. That's it. I saw the wood, like pieces of wood. I don't know from where, but pieces of wood just floating by. As soon as we came beside the truck, I stepped on something to get me a little higher, and I just climbed on the truck. Then we had to hold each other throughout the whole time on the truck. That was it. Then they took us back to dry land. Then they had cars there waiting for us, and we all drove back to the shop.
Those people in that house, I mean, me personally, I'm definitely going to give them my own personal thank you. But I really think National Grid should really do something for them people in the house. But whatever they feel fit, but I know me personally, I'm definitely going over there. When everything clear up and die down, I would definitely be going over there and giving them my praise and my thanks. Because without them, we would never been found. We'd have been on top of the truck for hours. Because we can't get down in the water because the transformers is popping. We can't move. We couldn't move. So by them letting us in the house, like I said, I'll definitely be going over there. Definitely giving my praises and my thanks.
Me, I've been working here for 28 years, so I know basically everybody. You know, these are my union brothers, and I don't think there's anything that I wouldn't do to, you know, if I had to do it again, I probably would. You know, just to make sure they come back home to their families. So, you know, I didn't think about it. I just went and did it. He just told me, he says, we got guys trapped in Seagate. They're on top of their units, and the water's high, and we need to get in there and get these guys out. Being that my truck was high, we figured, you know what, maybe it might work, and it did. It did what it had to do. I don't know how it did it. That is the most unexplainable thing that I will never.
Now, this is
figure
a
out.
truck that was in this
yard.
Right,
Yes.
it was in this yard. So you went to the yard, you picked up the truck, you went out, and when you started going out, how high was the water?
When we went out of here, there was no water. We rolled. When we got down McDonald Avenue, it was pitch black. There was transformers blowing up. You could smell fire everywhere. Fire trucks was rolling. And when I say pitch black, there was not a light working. There was nothing moving. We was the only truck going through. We had the lights on going. And when we got to near the Belt Parkway, the fire truck see me coming. It was going, and then the fire truck stopped. And I kept going. And I realized the water was about 10 feet high, and I stopped. And I made a U-turn and came back around because I knew I couldn't get through that way. And then when I came back around, we came down Stillwell and Neptune, and that's where we grabbed Jimmy Morant and Eddie Parrish. And they were on top of their unit. The water was just crazy.
How high is your truck?
My truck is 11 feet 9. The water had to be about 6-7 feet at that time when I went in. That was a miracle in itself, right. Just me getting through the water. It was no way. The mechanics here in Fleet Service said they don't know how that truck went through the water. Said that truck was not even supposed to make it. Once I went in, that truck was supposed to have died. So somebody was watching over us because it wasn't their time to go. And believe me, it would have been tragedy if we didn't get in there because you couldn't get to some of those guys. You know, I got here about 9:15, and I got back here at 1 o'clock. So, wow, that was like 3-4 hours I was out there. You know, I mean, it seemed like it took forever just to get everybody.
So they brought us back here. I changed my clothes, and I went home to my wife. And I told her the story. I called my father, called my daughter. This is 1:30 in the morning, so they obviously know something is wrong. They wake up, my family calling me, 7 o'clock in the morning, saying I'm okay, and get a phone call to say come back to work. To leave my family to come back, that would bother me more than anything. That would bother me more than anything. Like, y'all know what happened. Y'all came and rescued us. Came back to work. We went back out there. We have to go back out there.
No one ever called in sick or anything. We were back at work, working to help the people out.